Are you moving to the Sacramento area and you want a master plan community? We're talking if you're going to pay an HOA fee, you want the pool, you want the clubhouse, you want the whole vibe. This is the latest and greatest master plan community happening to the Sacramento area. We're talking about Liberty at Lincoln. We're going to break it down. This isn't a hype video. This is about pros and cons. Why is it selling so slow these days? Why is it going to be an up-and-coming community? Is this something you should be getting in on the ground floor? We're going to talk a little bit about it. Now, this is a very interesting master plan community. It's a little bit like Folsom. It's a little bit like Folsom Ranch. It's a little bit like what's called Whitney Ranch. We have a lot of different builders jumping in, and they're creating their own subdivisions in this community. Currently, we got Meritage, we got Woodside, we got Richmond, and within about a few weeks, we got Roseville. I also heard rumors of other builders building in this community. It is $125 HOA in this community, and you have the pool, you have the clubhouse, you have parks. It's really, really nice. I went out there and I got some drone footage. I got some firsthand shooting footage as well too. All that stuff for you. So we're not only going to talk a little bit about this community, we're going to also show you drone footage. We're going to show you progress. We're going to show you floor plans. We're going to show you everything regarding Liberty at Lincoln to help you make an educated decision if this is for you. There's pros, guys, and there are definitely cons in this new community, but it should be on your radar if you are thinking about moving in the Sacramento area. Lincoln back in the day was the fastest growing city in California, and it is moving. There's a lot of communities that are building out there too. We have Sun City. We have Taylor Morrison out there too with their active communities, and we have Elliott Homes and other builders that have been building some amazing homes out there as well too. We have Bickford that's close by that's building like crazy with Toll Brothers, Tri-Point, and it will definitely affect Liberty at Lincoln because they're kind of close to each other. So where is Lincoln? What is Lincoln all about? Like how far is it from Sacramento downtown? All these things we're going to uncover in this video, and we're going to see hopefully by the end of this video if Liberty at Lincoln is the right community for you. We have a very lively community, so there's going to be some questions, there's going to be some pros, some cons, and all that stuff. So if you're looking for a real video about Liberty at Lincoln, if you're looking for a video that's no fluff, if you're looking for people that comment live if they love it or if they don't like it, this is the video for you because this is going to get you everything you need to know about the community. Like I said, hopefully at the end of the video, you're going to know if this is the right one for you, and hopefully it helps you discover Sacramento a little bit more and if master plan community is for you or not. Let's get into the show. All right, guys, not all master plan communities, in my humble opinion, are created equal, right? I think there are some communities that come out there without the pool, the clubhouse, the community feel. I think sometimes HOAs are too high for what if they just give you a gate. There are some master plan communities that I said to myself, like it was done right, like Whitney Ranch, right? I look at Whitney Ranch and I say, $85, $82, something like that for an HOA over there. You get the pool house, you get the cabanas, you get those little overlook areas, you can walk. It seems like everyone in Whitney Ranch knows everybody there too. You just get that community vibe. But also, a lot of people who are moving into the area, don't know anyone. They're just moving in and they want to make sure the kids get friends and, parents can hang out and everything. And so I think these master plan communities are very, very important for anywhere you live, whether it's like California, Texas, or whatnot. Now, when I see Texas, I see these crazy master plan communities with like surf parks that are included in the community. I see pool houses, or pools. I see like all this stuff, like some even horse stables, right? In Sacramento, I think we kind of dropped the ball. Some of the communities here, I don't think have those. And I think that it's a shame because I think those type of communities, are, master plan communities, it kind of like bring people together. You get to know people because a lot of people who are buying these new homes in our area are from different areas, right? From the Bay Area, from Los Angeles. I've moved people in from all over the United States. A lot of people from outside the United States as well too. Everyone is in there. And one of the questions or one of the big concerns that everyone has is I want to make sure that the people that I have a way for my kids to have friends, I want to have that social life. And I think some of the communities that they set up, like in the Folsom Ranch area, you're not seeing as much community as I wish, like areas like Whitney Ranch or areas like Russell Ranch where they have the clubhouse and everything too. And I really do think that a lot of the communities that are building in the future, hopefully in the Sacramento area, will give us that pool, give us that clubhouse. The thing about the Whitney Ranch area that for me I'm always talking about is the idea that it's not only the clubhouse, it's not only the pool, but I mean, there are events there. There are community calendars. You can go there with your entire family. There's like, Halloween events. There's all that stuff. And for me, that's super vital for a lot of people who kind of want to meet people, kind of get to know people. And for me, I got kids, so it's, one of my biggest concerns is that my daughter, my 11-year-old is has friends, has a chance to kind of play and get to know each other, go out there, sports and everything too. And I think that your Whitney Ranch, your Russell Ranch as well too, maybe not as much because they don't really have the walkways and the parks and everything too. But I think that these master plan communities are very important because it'd be nice to move into a community where you have a pool. You don't have to be in the weather we have right now, like 100-degree weather, and you aren't thinking to yourself, I definitely need a pool or I need to stay inside my air conditioning and all that. So for me, Lincoln came out and it was very, very interesting. For me, I think that they did it right. Derek, how you doing? West Sacramento or West Roseville in the house. I really kind of think that they kind of did it right, but there are some pros and there are some cons with this as well. And I'm not going to beat around the bush. I'm not going to give you one of those hype videos. And this is just going to be me going out there over the last 3 days, talking to the builders, talking to the people living there, and kind of breaking down exactly what the vibe is that I got from Liberty at Lincoln. Because it is a little bit of a drive. And if you look here, and this is kind of the map of where it's located. Now, it's going to say, good 30 minutes from downtown Sacramento. Depending on when you go, the 65 when it merges with the 80 is a bear. I mean, the 65 is just not one of my favorite freeways at all. It gets very, very congested. So it just depends on when you are going. But I would say that 30 minutes, could that go up to like 45, 50 minutes during traffic hours? 100%. You have your shopping in Lincoln. It's not going to be like your bougie kind of shopping that we have in Roseville, where you got the Apple stores, you got the, Restoration Hardware, you got the West Elms, but you do have nice restaurants in Rockland that you can jump into. And the Lincoln area is growing. You got your Home Depots, you got your big box stores over there as well too. So Lincoln does have a lot of the shopping. A lot of people who live in Whitney Ranch, before the whole Whitney Ranch Retail Center started being built out, which has a Nugget and everything too. A lot of people who lived in Whitney Ranch chose to go into Lincoln as opposed to Rockland because of the traffic. Something to keep in mind. So you got Lincoln here, and you got you have the Lincoln at Liberty located right here. Okay. So it's growing out, and it's going to be, what I've seen out there, it's still in the early stages. And Lincoln, if you don't know, it's not one of those areas that has tons of foliage. You have areas like Fair Oaks, you have areas like East Sacramento, you have areas like Gold River even, that has tons of trees, tons of foliage. I would say Lincoln for me has a little bit more of like an Arizona, New Mexico kind of vibe to it. There's not a lot of foliage. It has that kind of terrain, that kind of vibe, right? But again, it's beautiful out there. A lot of golf. I think there's 2 golf courses out there. Catavadera, which is completely just, always known to be one of the best golf courses. And there's another one, I forget the name, but golf is a huge thing. You have Sun City that's up there. That's a retirement after 55 community, Lincoln Hills, beautiful clubhouse up there as well. If you guys are looking to retire, that's a beautiful spot to look at. If you're looking for something active community, you have Taylor Morrison in that area, Turkey Creek, which is another nice active community that was built out, beautiful, like pool, everything. They even have pool service, really, really dialed in. You have Elliott, you have Century, you have Lincoln, you have LGI out there, and Shea Homes will be building in Lincoln in the future. So that's another thing to kind of like just be looking for, right? Shea Homes is, not Shea. Shawwood is going to be building somewhere in Lincoln as well. They're not going to be building in Bickford, but they're going to be building in Lincoln. We don't know exactly where that is, and I don't necessarily think it's going to be part of Liberty, but I think it will be close by. They're staying away from Bickford because of the special assessments and the Mello-Roos that's really high up there. My Ben, how you doing, my friend? It's actually fast to get there from 50-minute road to Moore Road and then shoot over to Liberty Community. It's interesting. We have so many back roads in Sacramento. Now, here's what I will tell you guys. Ben is my go-to at Meritage, and I call him Meritage, but he's my go-to. He can sell to any single one of these communities. If you guys are looking for someone who is looking, and Meritage has communities all over the place. If you're looking for a new home and you don't want to deal with a realtor, even though we're really amazing. No, I'm joking. If you don't deal with a realtor directly, I would say reach out to Ben. He is one of those guys who is not going to sell you. He's going to say, what do you want? You like this? It's good. Maybe for you, maybe for not for you. Really, really an amazing guy. And I would say if you're looking at Meritage Homes specifically, reach out to him. He'll give you the good, bad, and ugly. And he has he doesn't have that snake oil part in him, which is amazing and I love. So Ben's a rock star. But okay, getting back to the community at hand, we have drone footage, we have all that kind of fun stuff. If you look at the map right now, you have future schools going in there. The whole Liberty area is going to have trails. It's going to have preserved land. Costco's like 16 minutes away in Roseville. And you got a couple Costco's at this point. You got the Costco in Roseville and the Costco in West Roseville. Galleria is like 18 minutes away. Now, granted, traffic, you're going to add some stuff in there. But also, what you're looking at, Liberty at Lincoln is also close to Placer One. It's also close to the Whitney Ranch area, Whitney Oaks and everything too. So it's a really, really kind of a nice spot. 30 minutes to downtown, but again, take that with a grain of salt. So this is kind of Liberty. Again, Lincoln is still not really the super hub of shopping, but you are going to get the big box stores. You're going to get the Bel Airs. You're going to get the Home Depots. You're going to get all that kind of stuff there. So you are going to have your base shopping. If you want to, you can shoot it in Roseville, and Roseville really isn't that far away, and you can hit your Restoration Hardware, your Louis Vuittons and your Gucci, or go for that new iPhone that's coming out, the foldable one that's coming out in September. Ooh, that's a nice one. You can do that. But all in all, if you're looking to move into like the Liberty at Lincoln or anywhere in Lincoln, it is going to feel a little removed from everything. And people like that. A lot of people want to be kind of far away, kind of want to not really close. Like Lincoln is that feeling. Like we work with a lot of people who are looking at like West Roseville or Roseville, specifically like Rockland, Folsom, El Dorado Hills. Now, the thing about Lincoln is that it does, if you're driving someone to Roseville, then you go to Rockland, then you go to Lincoln, it can feel a little further off the grid. And one of the things, and the biggest gripe I have with people is that by the time I get to Rockland and I'm telling them, hey, do you guys want to go up to Lincoln? Because Lincoln is more like price per square foot is more affordable than your Rockland. Rockland is like, it's still pretty pricey. So at Lincoln, you can get stuff that is a bigger floor plan, fraction of the cost, not a fraction, but a lesser cost than you would in Rockland. So my thing is like, look, here's the thing, guys. If you're looking at Rockland and you're finding stuff in Rockland that you like, but the price point is just a little too high, let's shoot over to Lincoln and take a look at some of these new home communities or some of these resale homes out there. Now, at that point, they're thinking to themselves, Rockland's still a little far out there for us. Lincoln is just a little bit too much. So the biggest con for Lincoln would just be the fact that it's like, just feels like it's so far away from the Sacramento metro. A lot of people will be like, yeah, Lincoln just doesn't even feel like part of Sacramento. It does. It feels a little isolated, a little far out there, even though if you look at here, you still have everything that's close to you. But if you're someone that works maybe in Folsom, I would not wish that drive on anyone. If you're someone who works in downtown Sacramento and you have your normal business hours, that's going to be a little bit brutal as well. So just kind of understand that that's kind of one of Lincoln's biggest cons against it. It's just that it feels so far removed. Now, if you're someone who has Zoom meetings, if you're someone who, has to commute maybe to like Roseville or Rockland, Lincoln's a great bang for your buck. Rockland, you're already on PG&E, and Lincoln is on PG&E, just so you guys know. That's the next big con. But in Lincoln, you can get something probably $100,000, $150,000 cheaper than you can get in Lincoln. Or in Rockland. So for me, I love the bang for your buck you can get in Lincoln. Now, Lincoln back in the day, early 2000s, was the fastest growing city in California. And it is just growing. It has a lot of land that was annexed. So it's building and it's just growing and growing and growing. It's really unstoppable. You're going to see the drone footage I have, how much land is really out there. Ben, how's it going, guys? Hope all is well. Everything is good. It's crazy. it's 100-degree weather out here, but, enjoying the swimming pool probably after the show. Did a couple hamburgers before this for my daughter. She's going to be a goalie this year. Can you believe it? A soccer goalie. So I'm freaked out and happy for her at the exact same time. So it's a crazy time. And this right now in the Sacramento area, if you are here, this is when school starts. This is when soccer season starts, and soccer is huge in Sacramento. If you guys didn't know this, soccer is big. If you ever want to know if sports are big, you go to Costco and you see the soccer benches out and everything too, and all that stuff is out. So soccer is huge. Now, But again, I digress. We're talking a little bit about Liberty at Lincoln. Okay, let's talk about it. Lincoln, and it again, if you could see even here, I mean, not a whole lot of foliage. They're kind of like really treating it almost like that Arizona kind of vibe to it out there. Just not. Now the farmhouse, which we'll show you drone footage of as well, it's huge. It's beautiful. It's absolutely gorgeous. In my opinion, I think it's a little bit bigger and nicer than the one you have at Whitney Ranch. No offense to all my friends at Whitney Ranch. It's just new, and they build bigger constantly in almost all these areas. But I mean, we got a 7,000 square foot residence clubhouse, and it's phenomenal. We toured it, we looked at it. It was just an amazing clubhouse. So you get that, and the HOA fee is $125 a month. And that includes that clubhouse. Now, the special assessment tax rate is a little higher than other areas, and we'll get into that in a little bit. But at the end of the day, $125, and you have actual access to a clubhouse that gives you that pool right away. So you don't have to worry about someone building a pool in your house. You got the pickleball courts, you got dog parks, you got fitness centers, you got everything built in. So if you're someone who maybe has a membership over at like, what is it? That big fitness center that they have in Roseville, Lifetime. I mean, you don't really need it. You have a pool, you have a fitness center, you have everything all in one, and it comes with your $125 HOA. Now, as they build more homes, the HOA is going to fluctuate. Currently, right now, it's at $125. It's going to fluctuate because how this kind of works with some of these communities is the more houses that are built, the lesser the HOA, unless they start increasing the amenities, but that's kind of how it is. Again, we're going to show you drone footage of it. Now, you have 56 acres of planned parks. So this community is going to be surrounded by what Lincoln is known for, the scenery, the acreage. It's going to be really, really nice. But again, if you look at it again, you're not going to get that foliage that you kind of see in the Folsom areas, East Sacramento, the Fair Oaks area. It's very flat in Lincoln, and it is very, very, it just feels very dry to me. So that's kind of what it is. Yeah, 18 miles of planned trails as well. But I mean, beautiful, beautiful community. And we got drone footage, so hang tight. All right, does it feel the same in West Roseville? New planned communities versus established Roseville. What are the reasons? What are the reasons why someone seriously consider new builds, even though they aren't? They are. I'm going to try this again, and this time I'm going to use my brain. Okay, does it feel the same way in West Roseville, new planned communities versus established Roseville? What are the reasons why would somebody should seriously consider new builds, even though they are further? Yeah, okay, so here's the biggest thing about what we're experiencing in the Sacramento area, and I'll pivot to this for just a second so you guys know what's happening. Last year at this time, interest rates started to decline. We're hitting into the 6.35, 6.4s, and we were kind of getting into a situation where inventory was a little bit more, and it was a it was a nice market towards the end of 2000, last year. And so what we're experiencing right now is that interest rates are kind of like here, right? And they're kind of going a little higher, and a lot of people expect them to go even higher than they are right now. Now, what ended up happening this year also with gas prices, with the economy and everything, people are just feeling a little nervous. Now, what you're going to notice is that the new homes at this point, and I'm going to call it right now, are hurting. They're hurting just like the resale market. So what you're going to notice around this time of the year is that you're going to see a lot of quick move-in homes because they want to get those things off the books, and you're going to see interest rate buy downs and incentives be given. They're not going to be that amazing. And it's not because they don't want to give them to you. It's because interest rates are high. So there's only so much they can do. But that's one of the biggest pivots for a lot of people that move to these new home communities. They're a little bit further away. The other thing too is Mello-Roos. No one likes paying Mello-Roos, which is a taxable bond. This taxable bond pays for like parks, schools, all that stuff too. But what you're going to notice is in a lot of Sacramento, the newer schools get the higher, like, greatschools.org. If you look at it, you'll see what I mean. They're like little mini colleges. So a lot of people like that as well. In Folsom, I mean, that new elementary school they put in is amazing. And Lincoln, they're going to be putting in a few more schools as well. People really like that new feel to those areas. So why do people move to new homes? Is at times that's pretty much what they can afford. People want something brand new. They want something with better insulation. They want stuff with solar. They want something that doesn't break down. A lot of people don't want to jump into a house and all of a sudden they have to deal with like, deferred maintenance. I mean, even for myself, I had to deal with a fence. I had to deal with siding on my house. I had to deal with a chimney. I mean, all total, probably this year, I probably spent about like maybe 14 grand just to maintain my house. My house is built in the 80s. And so what you're going to notice in the 80s, you're talking about HVACs are going bye-bye, furnaces are going bye-bye. All that stuff is stuff you have to deal with and you have to pay for. And then we're talking about roofs as well too. I mean, you got a good tile roof and that's going to cost you a pretty penny. So a lot of people are like, you know what? The economy's not great. I can get, I don't know, maybe a 5.25 interest rate or something like that at one of these builders. I can get into a home that is new. It's still under warranty. You got the year fit and finish. You got the what's called 10-year structural warranty on it. It's in a community that has a clubhouse and a pool. So guess what? I don't have to put a pool in my backyard. My kids can go play. They have a spot. They have parks and everything too. And because of the interest rate, I can actually buy more house and I don't have that deferred maintenance. Yes, I got to deal with the backyard because it's not like landscaped. But I mean, it's for me, I look at it, I say, a lot of people probably don't even want to deal with new homes. Probably haven't even considered new homes. But they're saying to themselves, it's like what? 6.75 interest rate right now if I buy a house. I don't like Mello-Roos, but if I go to like Meritage and all of a sudden I get a buy down and I'm somewhere in the fives, let's say 2%, 2 points less, what is that? Maybe $400, $800, maybe $750, $800 a savings every single month. Yes, I still have Mello-Roos to pay, but I'm still making out like a bandit. And I got a house that's bigger, it's new, no deferred maintenance. Yes, I got to landscape the backyard, but you know what? For right now, let's put a little sod, let's put a little paver stones out there and let's just get it going. Because guess what? I don't need to put it in a pool. I got the clubhouse over there. I got the parks and everything too. Kids are great. And guess what? I heard that there's a brand new school being put over there. So I don't really have to drive. So that's the biggest appeal for new schools. It's like a recipe of like, just there you go. You got, and yeah, I mean, the negative of it is the foliage, but again, established communities, as amazing as they are, if you guys have seen the inventory lately, inventory is horrific. It is null and void. We ate up all the inventory around May. All the inventory that was like amazing, it was May. And so what you're seeing now is like new homes like Toll Brothers. Oh my God, we just moved an amazing couple into Toll Brothers home. And, they got the view, they got the preserve land. It was an amazing house. It was around 1.2, 1.3. But I mean, we're talking Toll Brothers home, no HOA. Yeah, they had to deal with Mello-Roos. But again, they got a fantastic rate. And if they had gone for a resale home in Folsom, one, the competition would have been insane. And two is they probably would have got themselves a house that was 3 stories, built in the 80s, HVAC, furnace, and it just wouldn't have the warm and fuzzies that a lot of people are looking for. So that's the biggest appeal for new homes. I mean, a lot of people that we've worked with are like, we do not want new homes. And then they walk into the new homes and they start seeing how pretty they are, like it's like a car dealership, right? The warm bucket seats and, everything is beautiful. And they start looking at this and they already know, everyone knows at this point when you walk into a new home, like the bells and whistles it's all tricked out. So, a lot of people are like, yeah, I got to deal with that. But then all of a sudden they start talking incentives and they're like, yeah, we can give you, this, we can give you $60,000 towards closing costs or buying down your rate. We can do this. We can do this. We can do this. And they're willing to work with you when a lot of sellers right now are saying to themselves, like, my house is $1 million. If you don't want it, I got a 2.75 and I really don't need to sell it. So have fun. And that's kind of why new homes are so popular right now. And they will be towards the end of this year. Towards the end of this year, you're going to see new homes because interest rates are high, throw out some crazy incentives. If they stay still high, you're going to see them throw some major incentives, and there's going to be a lot of quick move-ins on the market because I don't think new homes anticipated rates going up. I think they thought rates would go down, and I know already a few communities that already have a bunch of quick move-ins, and I think they're still building. So for me, I think it's going to be fantastic for new homes. I think that if you guys are looking for new homes, that's where we're spending a lot of our time because there is that inventory. You have Toll Brothers building 4 or 5 communities. You have some other Anthems building 2 or 3. You got Taylor just opened up two in Roseville and 4 different collections. And then you got that one Woodside home. I mean, you got so many communities, it's not even funny. And you got them all over the place. So for you guys, if you're saying, you know what, Mark's talking about Lincoln, I don't want to deal with Lincoln. I wish they were building them in Elk Grove. They are. West Sacramento, they are. Lincoln, Roseville, Rockland. They're even building boutique communities like in Orangeville. Like they're building in El Dorado Hills. They're building everywhere. So you have that inventory that you can jump into to make it worth your while with the buy downs and incentives they're giving you. So it's great. We've been negotiating a whole lot with our clients, getting them some great deals. I mean, I wish I could have the gentlemen, the family I brought into Folsom Toll Brothers, but we got them a heck of a deal. In fact, a lot of their neighbors were walking up to them going, how much do you pay for that house? And they told them. And they were just like disbelief. So, you know, I think if interest rates are where they are, either they stay the same or they go up a little bit. I think the new home incentives are going to keep flowing and flowing and flowing, and it's going to be great. That's just my 2 cents again. All right. And the clubhouse is open, even though not many homes close there, which is super nice. Oh, yeah. In Lincoln, it's fantastic. You can go to the clubhouse and you're like the only one. I mean, it's like going to Cabo San Lucas and you're the only one vacationing. So you get the whole pool scene, you get everything, and everything is new. The pool is crystal. It is perfect. It is absolutely pristine. Fire pits, everything out there too. You like pickleball? You don't have to wait for anybody. You're out there. I mean, that is such a fun thing. And for me, I love it. I also love these clubhouses because they're the ones who pay all that money to keep them chlorinated, keep them heated, and keep them perfect. And your family can enjoy it. So I like it. Don't know what that means. Okay. What size lots are offering? Okay, we're going to get into that because that's one of the things I was not that happy about. Hey, see, thank you guys. Thank you guys all for tuning in too. The next one, next video I'm going to do is going to be fun too. Okay. Hello, Mark. Any plans to add Rockland High School below 80? All kids have to go to Whitney Ranch Area High School. Let me find out for you. I actually have a couple appointments to talk to some, what was he going to say? It's just some people in the planning commission. The crazy part about schools is though, like for Folsom, right? A lot of people bought into Folsom Ranch, and now Folsom schools are, I don't want to say they're on the chopping block, but right now, I mean, Folsom schools aren't 100% anymore. And they were, I mean, everyone, all the salespeople were basically talking about that. So now the schools are not 100% the new ones coming into school. And I mean, man, all the schools in the Sacramento area seem to be impacted. Folsom, Vista, El Dorado Hills, Rockland, impactedville. So we need new schools, and we need them pretty bad. Sergio, my friend, we're getting closer, man. We're getting closer to getting you to your house, open space, and your cigar. So we're close. Lincoln was on the table during house hunting. Again, Lincoln, great spot. But Sergio, again, you know, Lincoln was a little too far away, which goes back to Lincoln. And it was on PG&E. And you're in Roseville, so you got Roseville Electric. Now, that's one of the biggest things. A lot of people are like, you know, I love West Roseville. I know the bang for your buck could be a little bit better in like a Placer One or a Lincoln. Both those areas, fantastic. Love them, but you are on PG&E. And PG&E, as we know, the prices keep going higher and higher and higher, which, you know, isn't great. No one likes it. So just be aware that before you pull the trigger, check various things. Crime, greatschools.org, Megan's Law. Check who does your, check home insurance costs. I mean, new homes, you really don't have to deal too much with that because of the insulation, the fireproofing they do and everything, but I would just in case. And utilities. Find out who does your utilities. It is a big difference between PG&E and your Roseville Electric and SMUD. Roseville Electric and SMUD here, PG&E here. Not only that is a lot of these areas that have PG&E, you need a generator in case you have a brownout or whatnot. So for me, PG&E is a little risky, but again, you know, you gotta just like weigh the pros and cons. All right, let's go back to the presentation that I prepared for you guys. All right, let's go here. All right, we're going to have some fun. Okay, location 865. Now, a lot of the people who know the 65 do not like the 65. It is just a cluster at times. A lot of stop and go traffic, and where the 65 meets the 80, no bueno. No bueno. Not a big fan. I wish they'd do something about that. So yeah, I'm not a big fan. Can't wait for Placer Parkway. Why buy here? Brand new homes, incredible amenities, parks, trails, open spaces, growing Lincoln location, future growth and value. Yeah, okay, here's the thing with Lincoln. It is growing, I mean, what you can get here, and we'll go into pricing a little bit too, it's not bad. As far as it goes. But again, you're in a community that is just starting to develop and grow. At times that's great for appreciation, but at times, like my buddy Ben was saying, you're the only one in the clubhouse. I mean, you bring your kids swimming, you get the pool all by yourself, but you feel like you're in one of those weird doomsday movie where no one else exists in the world except for you and your kids. So it is a little pro and con. Yeah, you get the clubhouse to yourself. You get to work out when you want to. You get the pool. But again, this is just started off. There's a lot of land. There's not a lot of foliage. It looks like you're somewhere in the middle of a Mad Max movie. But again, guys, Whitney Ranch was like that at one point. Folsom Ranch, Russell Ranch was exactly like that at some point too. No one had that, but a lot of the people who bought in early bought homes at the new home community, Gold Hill, Silvercrest. A lot of people who bought in at JMC, at Sycamore when they were building at Folsom, they're smiling from ear to ear. Because now they have their home, the area's built, well, somewhat built, and it's just growing and developing. They got themselves a new elementary school, parks. So, if you are one of those people who jumps in on the ground floor and you believe strongly in the area and the community, and you say, you know what, I can see this growing and developing. I mean, you get your choice of house, lot, area, and you get to be kind of one of the OGs of the community. So, pros and cons. All right, now let's get into the drone footage that I promised you guys early on. Okay, so this is the clubhouse. And as you can see, let's stop this right here. Okay, there's a whole lot of land around. So they're going to be building out a lot of this is going to be houses. It's going to be, it's going to be some parks. It's going to be some trails and everything too. But as you can see, like this is kind of it. And over here, you got Lincoln, all that stuff. And over there, you got the 65, buy 65. But again, there is a whole lot of land and it's going to feel it. You're going to just drive through it. And I told you guys, it has definitely that Arizona kind of Sedona feel to it. It's just flat and, it's developing, it's growing. It's in its baby stages right now. It's learning how to it's teething. So it's growing, but you see what I mean, guys? All this land is going to be developed around it. You're going to see some parks. You're probably going to see that school somewhere around here as well, too. You're going to see, additional builders come in. Maybe Shawwood even will build here. I'm not 100% on that, but it's going to be an interesting vibe. But you got land. You got a whole lot of land. And, it's going to fit right into the Lincoln landscape. Again, though, it's going to take a while to do that. So let's see if we can dive in a little deeper to the clubhouse. And there you go. Yeah, what do you got? You got the big old swimming pool. You got the pool house. You got the pickleball courts because tennis is not a thing anymore. You have a playground over here. You have a basketball court over here. But they're also building some parks in other areas of Lincoln at Liberty as well. They'll show you in a second. But you have some cool little parks over here. Doggy Park right here. So it's nice. I mean, they're building it out and they're starting with the foundation. And if you could tell right here, you're right super close to a main strip. So, you can get from point A to point B. All right, let's look at that. A little close up of it again. You got the Cabo shelf, which I love. But yeah, not too shabby, guys. And this is, they call it the farmhouse. And it kind of gives you a little bit of the Whitney Ranch kind of vibes, a little bit of even Toll Brothers, their active community vibe too, and what they're doing. But I love that idea. Now, this is all, let's go over here. Now, this is what they've been building out so far. So there's not a whole lot of building done so far. But I mean, it is growing. But look at all that land Lincoln has. Isn't that crazy? So they're just starting in their baby stage right now. You got what? You got the three builders out there, Woodside, you got Meritage, you got Richmond. Selling is very slow. I mean, it is one of those communities that a lot of people are feeling this a little far out there. But again, I saw this exact same thing happen with Whitney Ranch. It was a little slow for a little bit. And then all of a sudden it just picked up and it just boomed. And now, I mean, what? You got like JMC and Anthem building there and that's it. So this is kind of what it looks like. Let's go to the next one. Now here you're going to see right here, that's going to be Woodside. Right here, you're going to see Richmond, and over here, you're going to see Meritage. So they did it so if you go out there to visit, you're going to basically be able to go to all. Now, I do believe over here is going to be where Roseville, which used to be the new home company, is going to have their models. Not 100 on that. Ben, if you're watching, help me on that. But this is kind of what it is. Now, as I said, they're going to be building a lot of these parks. Now, this isn't part of the clubhouse. This is actually, here, hold on if I can pause this thing for a second. This is actually going to be like one of the parks in the community. So they're going to have various kind of parks. They're going to have various parks and various areas like this. So it's not going to feel like, that density of all these houses there. Okay. Paula, here's a trick about Lincoln and Liberty. They have so much land that we're not really sure at this point how many houses at final build out. There's rumors that there's going to be at least 3 or 4 other builders coming into play. I mean, we're still in the early stages of this community. That's why prices are so good. And, we'll go into that a little bit, but Woodside starts at like mid 500s, Richmond, mid 600s, Meritage, mid 600s. So, I mean, we're still at the very, very early stages of them, but they're going slow, and sales have not been, I think, what they expected. So for you guys, if you're looking for something that's master planned, if you're looking for something that's an amazing clubhouse, you're okay with PG&E, and Lincoln's distance doesn't bother you too much because you love Thunder Valley Steakhouse like I do, it could be something to look at. I mean, getting it on the ground floor. I mean, Meritage has some of these big floor plans that are still relatively reasonably priced. And Meritage, I think you can go for over a 3,000 square foot floor plan, somewhere in the low 7s, which is nuts, and a decent sized lot. But okay, for the models, let's go back and I have each one lined up for you guys too, just because I think you guys are awesome. Okay, so here's a park again too. And this is all the building that they've done so far. Crazy. You got the basketball court, you got the parks. Now, let's go back real quick, if you guys don't mind. All right, so as far as Richmond goes, they have a little bit of a smaller backyard here. The backyard size I felt was maybe about maybe 20 feet. They have extra big lots too, and some of the other, you can buy a lot with a lot premium. And let me see if I can get over there to... Okay, but the ones that really surprised me the most, Meritage actually had the largest lots that I saw out there. Granted, the large floor plan that had the next gen suite, the one that was, I think, close to 3,400 square feet, that one had a smaller backyard. You definitely couldn't get a pool in there unless it was one of those little tiny lap pools. But the other 2 floor plans, I mean, these backyards were decent. I will say this, Meritage, I mean, take it with a grain of salt. I mean, some of their build and communities haven't really impressed me that much. I like some of them. This one I really liked. I thought the bedroom sizes were very, very generous. I thought the laundry rooms were good. I think they did, probably out of all 3 builders, I think they did the open floor plan better than Richmond did and better than Woodside did for sure. And Roseville is coming into play, but for me, I would say the most bougie feel, I would have to go with probably Tri-Point still. Woodside. I would say as far as the middle one, the one that's kind of still bougie and you can still get a large house, probably the Richmond American one. But I would say if you're looking for that house that has extra bedrooms, if you're looking for that with next gen suite and everything too, I'd be looking at Meritage all day long, because I do think that when Roseville comes in, you're going to see a lot of people go to Roseville, look at Roseville prices, because they're probably going to be a little higher, and then they might pivot back to Meritage. So I think Meritage right now, out of all 3 builders there, probably, I think their floor plans, but also the lot size just makes sense. I mean, for me, yeah, granted, and I know I was babbling about the whole clubhouse and everything too, but if you live out somewhere like this, you kind of want to have that big, or at least a 30-foot backyard, 25-foot backyard. And some of you are saying, no, we don't want the maintenance. But for me, I think that if I go for a 2,000 square foot house, a 20-foot backyard is scale. That's how I consider it, right? Because I need it to be balanced. So 2,000 square foot house, 20-foot backyard, that works. 3,000 square foot home, 30-foot backyard. Scale-wise, that kind of works and everything too. But if you're going to be building a house out there, if you want to get a house, I mean, this is the type of backyard for me that I'd be looking towards. So for me, I like the Meritage homes. I don't know if they give you the same bougie feel as like the Richmond and Woodside, but they weren't making me think budget at all. They were making me think, oh, that's pretty smoking deal. And I was seeing stuff in the Meritage community that I had seen maybe in their Natomas community, but not in some of the other communities. So I really, really did like it. And let's go. I think I still have some drone footage of this stuff. All right. So here is going to be Woodside. Now, for Woodside, what you're going to see is the floor plans are going to be underneath 3,000 square feet. They're the smallest. Like, I would say they're probably like, you know, if you guys are familiar with Rancho, the Aspen and the Willow, those collections, this is kind of what these are. These are all 2-car garage. I didn't see a 3-car garage. Maybe I missed it. But the models there were all 2-car garage houses. They were well under 3,000 square feet. You know, 4 bedrooms, maybe a 5th squeezed in there a little bit, some lofts. You know, the Woodside did their doggy door thing, and I'm going to be running through. I did model tours of everything they'll be launching on this channel too. But they're cute houses. I think that as far as Woodside goes, for the mid 5s, you know, mid 6s, also with probably solid incentives right now. And if you guys want to, reach out to me and I can talk to you a little bit about what incentives are being offered. Woodside's good. I mean, you can get in there, what called like, you know, probably with a nice good rate, good buy down, mid 5s. You got yourself maybe a 2,500 square foot home, 4 bedroom, 2.5 bath, you know, maybe even 1 bedroom down below. Decent sized backyard, not fantastic, not fantastic. I think the Woodside homes showed me the smallest lots. I was hoping because Lincoln has more land than Rancho that the backyard size would be a little bit bigger. So I was a little disappointed, I gotta say. I was hoping Woodside would kind of step it up a little bit and do the same kind of backyards they were doing over at Willow and Aspen, which had a lot bigger backyards. See, here you go. They're okay. I'm definitely not able to get a pool in there unless it's a tiny, tiny pool or something you are blowing up. So that is kind of what the backyards look like. They did have the covered patios, and this is something that was interesting. Richmond, they all had their little kind of like things going. Like, for example, Richmond offers, they're going to give you the solar when you purchase the house. Meritage, as I saw the Meritage homes, they didn't have any covered patios, which if you're living in Lincoln, a lot of people love the old covered patio thing. And again, without the covered patio, the backyard looks a lot bigger. So just take that with a grain of salt. But these are the Woodside homes. Here, let them see. Boom. Tell me what you guys think. Do you guys like the backyard size? Are you guys thinking it's way too small? How do you feel about the price point starting in the mid 5s? Does that work for you? Also, let me know what you guys think of the HOA. 125, and then you get a pool, clubhouse, that whole 9 yards. I think that's pretty solid. I pay like what, $350 something or another in Gold River. I get no clubhouse, I get no pool, I get nothing, but I get a bunch of trees. So it is what it is. So this is going to be Woodside, and then the next one we got, and this is going to be Richmond American. Now Richmond American was kind of like the mid. They're give you some of the bougie feel of the Woodside homes, nice finishes, all that stuff too. They're okay with the open floor plan. I don't think Woodside did fantastic with the open floor plans in their models, but this is Richmond. And here, let me see. Drone footage wasn't that fantastic on this one, but the backyard size was okay. I wasn't too impressed. I think, you know, the biggest one here was maybe 25 feet. Elevations were decent. Kind of typical Richmond American that I saw. Now, the beautiful part about Richmond is Richmond started in the mid 6s, and, you know, they can go on up if you go to something that's close to a 3,000 square foot home. But the thing about the Richmond American is that they were throwing in the solar with their homes, and I really like this. But now here's a trick about it as far as elevation goes. You see, what is it? You see Woodside. Yeah, they're nice. They're nice homes. They look very, very nice, you know, kind of standard homes, right? You look over at Richmond, they kind of feel a little bit like the Woodside homes. They kind of have the same kind of vibe and everything too. Oh my God. Thank you. I'm so sorry. Okay. All right. Oi. Here we go. All right. Man, thank you for that. All right, let me see if I go back. Okay. All right, so here we go. the drone footage, and I apologize. It's been a long day, guys, and there's like a million lights in this room, so I apologize. Okay, so let's get into it. All right, so here we go. Here's what's been built out so far in Liberty at Lincoln, all these homes. This is it. This is all they've built so far. And they have all this land to cover. They're going to be parks and everything too. Now over here is, here we go. Hold on. Let me pause this. Okay. So over here, right here is going to be Woodside. And if you see the backyard size, not terribly large, maybe like 15, 20. And this is like a standard lot. Can you get a bigger lot? I'm guessing you could. Now over here is Richmond American. The lot size is a little bit bigger, but not a whole lot. So we're talking about 25 feet probably. Meritage over here, and I'll show you in a second, had the biggest lots. And now over here is a park. And now they're putting in these parks strategically throughout the community. So not only will you get the clubhouse, but you'll also get these amazing, cute little parks. You got basketball courts. You got like, you know, jungle gyms. You got all this stuff. So if you want to, you can have an event there. You can play a little soccer and do all that stuff, which is beautiful. I love that stuff. And I think a lot of these communities just miss the mark by not having that stuff. Now, real quick, here's a Richmond American backyard and the elevations, a little boxy. There's not a whole lot of backyard here. And here you don't have a covered patio. But the beautiful part about Richmond American is they are offering solar. So you get solar when you buy your house. They actually said we're the only builder out there doing solar. And we'll go to Meritage in a while, but you can see that none of their houses had a covered patio, but they did have the most backyard size. So, you know, you're going to get a little of a little from all of them. So take that with a grain of salt. All right. So here you go. Look at all that land they got to build out. And here we go. This is the back of the Meritage homes. For me, I'm okay actually not having the covered patio as long as I can put a gazebo out there and as long as I have enough space to put a pool. Now let's go into some of the specific builders. Okay, so here is the Woodside homes. Now the product again at Woodside is going to be somewhat similar to the product you saw in Rancho. The product you saw at Willow and Aspen, it's going to look just like this. You're going to see the 2-car garage, you know, and this is kind of what it's going to look like. Elevation, it's nice, but it's nothing like crazy elevations that you see in like, you know, your Shaw Woods or something like this. But they're just, you know, they're cute little houses. These houses by Woodside start in the mid-5s and they go all the way to mid-6s. And I think the largest square footage is like around 2,700 square feet. But they're cute. They're nice houses. I think they're probably the most entry-level homes in there. And let me roll the footage. And thanks again for that screen sharing thing, Ben. Or KMZ. Oof. Seriously, I would have done that all night long. And I apologize. I'm running on fumes right now. Wrote an offer just before the live. Cooked up a couple barbecues for my hamburgers for my daughter. And I'm trying to get this stuff a little bit more interactive for you guys. So this right here is Woodside. What do you guys think? Thumbs up or the backyard's too small? I was really, really hoping that the backyards would be something like we saw in Aspen and Willow. You know, and that's the thing. Yeah, again, two valuable points you mentioned. 3 builders, Meritage was my favorite. I gotta say, I'm kind of with you on that. I liked the square footage. I thought because one of the things about Meritage that always has killed me is that sometimes the, not the primary, but the other bedrooms are too small, right? I did not feel this about the Meritage homes at all this time. I felt like everything was a little bit bigger. Even the laundry room and everything too. I really, really liked it. I liked the backyard size, even though there was no covered patios. So it was a little deceptive. So it showed a little bit bigger of a backyard, but no covered patio. But again, for me, that would definitely work. I'd rather buy a gazebo, have a pool and all that stuff. So yeah, for me, I think the Meritage was definitely the builder that threw me for the biggest loop. I thought I would go out there and Woodside and Richmond would be up there. But, you know, again, Richmond, I know there are lots that are bigger. So if you were looking for a bigger lot, there are definitely. Woodside, not so much. I think that pretty much what you see is what you get. Again, though, for me, guys, if I'm going to move somewhere like Lincoln, even though I got that clubhouse and the pool, I'm thinking to myself, like, I want a nice size house, but I also want a decent sized backyard. I don't want to be looking at like a fence right here. So that's just me. And I think that's probably one of the biggest drawbacks that I saw with the Woodside homes. If I saw this and I said to myself, like, you know, mid-5s, but I can move it to Rancho when where I'm smud at Woodside, get something in the mid fives. And I don't have that crazy Mello-Roos that's out here or the tax rate that's out here. And I'm on smud. You know, that was the biggest thing for me. That was the biggest drawback. All right. However, the biggest drawback are the backyards and the high Mello-Roos. Absolutely. I think the high Mello-Roos is one of those things that it's just brutal. And what you notice though is because you see all this land, share screen. What you see is, again, all this land that's out here, all the building that they still have to do, Mello-Roos is going to be super high. I mean, where they built right now, there's like nothing out there. So you're building everything from scratch, all the sidewalks, all the parks, everything. So yeah, the Mello-Roos are definitely going to be high out there too. I wish they would have ponied up a little bit for bigger backyards. I wish Woodside would have done that. Maybe give someone a 30-foot backyard. I wish Richmond would have done that as well too. I think then maybe people would have been a little bit better with the Mello-Roos. But yeah, the drawback, the Mello-Roos is definitely, I'm with you 100%. Backyards are small, 100%. But now let's go, we'll take a look at Meritage and see if they can change your mind. All right, here we go. Okay, so this is Richmond. Sorry about that. You got the right in front of the basketball court. Look at all the building they have yet to do out there. I mean, once it's done, I mean, fast forward like 5-7 years in the future, this thing is going to be crazy. All right, so here is probably, and I'll have to agree, I think for me, the builder I was most impressed with as far as a price point. I mean, you're talking starting in the mid sixes and going up to like what's called mid sevens for something like really, really like dialed in with a nice sized backyard and a next gen suite. I mean, Meritage really did hook it up. Let's go back to the elevations here. Hold on, right in front of a park. But I mean, look at these things. They were a little closer to the sidewalk than the other builders, but I mean, these elevations, at least for me, look a lot more impressive. So for me, when I walked into Meritage and I saw these houses from the outside, I was like, they're kind of close to the street, but you know, let's go in there and take a look. I like the outside of them. And when I walked in, this is what I'll tell you, bedroom size was fantastic. In fact, this one right here had like a bedroom and then kind of a sitting area. It was huge. Absolutely huge house. By the way, Thunder Valley. So if you guys like casinos, there's right there for some nice concerts. But Meritage really did impress me. You got like Roseville coming in as well that are going to be building some homes again. But the Roseville product is going to be, they kind of compete with Taylor Morrison pricing. So I think if you're looking for a big home, if you're looking to keep it like under $800,000 and you want that big home, next gen suite, you want the backyard and everything too, I think Meritage is probably going to be your best bet. If you want something a little bit more bougie, but you still want that little big house, you're probably going to have to wait for Roseville to come in. And they're going to come in towards the end of this month. But this area is going, even though sales are tad slow, they're still going and trucking away. All right. We call our new backyard a pathway, but the view. Okay, guys, I got a little bit of a ask for you guys. Would you guys rather have a big backyard, but a neighbor behind you? And we're talking, let's be 30 foot backyard, 35 foot backyard, but you have a neighbor behind it. Or would you rather have a 20 foot backyard, 15 to 20 foot backyard and a gate looking out at preserved land? Just out of curiosity, which one would you guys prefer? Do you guys want that backyard size, or do you don't mind a shorter backyard as long as you're not looking at your neighbors and you're looking at something really, really pretty? I want to know what you guys like out of curiosity. For me, I'm a pool guy, but honestly, I specifically chose my house based on like that there were single stories everywhere and no one could see me when I'm in my pool and I could have a little privacy. I don't know if I'd be that happy if my neighbors were looking in. I kind of would almost prefer a smaller backyard, no pool, but being able to look at like some nice mountains, some nice preserved land, and just not have any neighbors like that way. But I don't know. What do you guys think? All right. Boom. Yeah. They're lined up like dominoes. Yeah, I know. You know, the thing that's so crazy about builders, and you'd think they'd get a little bit of a hint, is the fact that like we have so much land in Lincoln, in Elk Grove and Natomas and everything too. And they're so trying to, and they make money off their houses, even if in a bad bad market. They're still making their margins. New homes are just phenomenal. I mean, one day maybe I'll do a video on the margins. You would think that they would just give you a little bit more space, right? Be a little bit more. They give you the space because they know they can sell them. But at the end of the day, for me, you know, I love innovative builders. I love the stuff like Double S is doing over in West Roseville. You know, I like the stuff that they're doing, like Blue Mountain is doing up in Rescue, you know, giving people like land, giving that. I mean, and I don't understand why there's I mean, look at this, so much land, and they're still putting the houses close together. So I'm with you 100%, 110%. All right, Ben, sorry, bro. I want both. I get it. I kind of want them too. I know. I feel it. All right, let's talk about Roseville. Then let you guys go for the evening. All right, so Roseville's coming into town. They're going to be the new kid in school. So Roseville's coming in, and Roseville product, they used to be New Home Company. If you guys are familiar with Arbor, what they're building Elk Grove, it's going to be kind of a similar product here at Liberty. They're probably going to build a few different collections and everything too. I like land. Well, one day we'll get you that. Whole lot of land. I like land too. I mean, we just moved someone in. Yeah. No. Yeah, I know what you mean. Land is good. Yeah. All right, so let's talk Roseville. Sorry, I got a little out there. All right, so this is Roseville, and this is what it's going to kind of look like. You got the elevations, you got the farmhouse, you got the, what is this, Craftsman, and I think over here you have the traditional. Okay, so you have Roseville coming into town, and these are going to be their first two collections. I heard that there's actually going to be two more collections if these things start selling. So you got traditional, you got like the first collection that's going to be, you know, between 2,700 square feet. This is going to be their smaller collection, probably a little bit like one of the collections you saw in Elk Grove. And then you have the larger floor plans that go all the way up to 3,653. That's going to be the one with like the next gen suite and all that stuff too. Now they're not releasing pricing, but my guess is I'm guessing they're going to be selling probably anywhere between $50,000 to $100,000 more than Meritage. Don't quote me, but I do think that Meritage right now is the hot buy, if I was going to say it correctly, as far as what I like out there. But it'll be interesting to see what Roseville comes into play. Oh, hey, I could have you on the show just to remind me. I apologize. Okay, let's go back. It's been a long day. Okay, so here you go. This is what they look like. Elevations, farmhouse. This is going to be the Craftsman. And then you're going to have traditional. All right, so you got your standard elevation that you've probably seen at like Elk Grove. Now, Roseville, just so you guys know, Roseville used to be the New Home Company, and they rebranded. Now they're Roseville Homes. Now, the interesting thing about Woodside and Richmond actually just bought Woodside Homes. So there's going to be a whole shakeup of branding and everything too, which is kind of funny because, you know, they're competing for business right now at Liberty. So I don't know how that's going to go, but it'll be interesting to see in the future. Now over here, you're going to see that they have so far two communities or two collections, as they call them. Now, I heard that there's going to be two additional collections, but this is going to be kind of like your entry, kind of like your, you know, mid-level collection here. We're talking about like 2,400 square feet to 28. It's going to probably compete a little bit with like your Woodsides and your Richmond American. Probably going to be a little bit more bougie because they have that kind of Taylor Morrison competition where if you've seen Roseville over at what's called an Elk Grove, the only thing about Roseville that I wasn't a big fan of is a lot of their homes didn't come with the windowsills or whatnot. That wasn't a big thing for me. I think that's like a small little detail that you could put into your homes. Then you got Valor, and this one is going to be the one that's competing with Meritage. It's going to be probably a little bit more bougie, but I'm going to guess that you're talking about like probably $50,000, $75,000 more for this home. So if you're looking for something and you want something that's really, really big, I mean, look at the square footage on that. 3,653. Next gen suite, if you're looking for a 3-car garage, if you're looking for like the loft, if you want everything. Now, another thing that I heard about Roseville is that their lot sizes are going to be a little bit bigger. They're going to have bigger lots. Now, I talked to someone there and they told them that one of the biggest selling points is not only that, you know, the quality of their build, but also that the idea is that they're going to have bigger lots, but that has not been 100% confirmed. I actually have a VIP, meeting with them a week before they open to go take a look at their homes. I'll see if I can video stuff for you guys there, but it's gonna be interesting. I think Roseville is gonna go out there and hopefully they drop these 2 collections. And if they sell these 2 collections, they might drop a couple other collections as well. What you're probably going to see, maybe not this year, but probably sometime next year, you're going to see other builders, probably 3 or 4 other builders. I heard rumor of Beezer maybe popping up there as well too. So you're probably going to see 2 or 3 other builders pop up there. Now, Shawwood still has land that they purchased in Lincoln. Not sure where that is. I'll talk to my connection at Shawwood and let you guys know when that's happening. But Lincoln is an area that is definitely growing. I mean, it's expanding, it's growing, it's developing, and it's one of those areas that, yes, it's a little far out there. Yes, it's in PG&E. Yes, the landscape is a little different than most. You know, it's dried out. There's not a whole lot of foliage out there too, but there's golf course living, Thunder Valley's out there, and there's a whole lot of development happening there. Now, as far as other communities that are coming into the Sacramento area, just so you guys know, you got another Taylor coming in Folsom, and you got another Taylor coming in, in Rancho. Now, the Rancho Folsom, or the Rancho Taylor Morrison is going to be a little bit like Wild Hawk North. And the one they're putting in Folsom is going to be almost the exact same as Dakota 2. What else is going to happen? And then you have another Shawwood piece that they're going to be building in like the Loomis Grant Bay area. Those are I heard they're going to be starting in the 3 millions. What else did I hear? And that's it. There's going to be a whole bunch of new communities, but we're going to talk about them. I'll get you guys some inside scoops on them. I'll see if I can bring in more drone footage of other stuff. I want to talk about Braden, what's happening with Braden, because it seems like it's a dead project. I have no idea. So one of the things I'm going to try to do for the show when we do the show is I'm going to go out there bringing drone footage of stuff. I want to also talk about videos that I've done and break them down for you guys a little bit, like the one I just released last Friday about those acreage homes in Orangevale near Folsom. And we're going to talk about them as a community and talk about if they're thumbs up or if they're thumbs down, the pros and cons in them. And that's it, guys. I'm done. The show is done. Hopefully you guys enjoyed it. Please like the video, comment, subscribe, that whole thing. And on Friday, I'll be dropping a video, probably one of the communities at Liberty. I also want to do a produced video with all the drone footage I did about Liberty at Lincoln. So that probably is going to be released within the next couple of weeks as well. That's it, guys. I'm gone. Try to stay cool. It is super hot in Sacramento, and I am done for the evening. Okay, guys, hopefully you enjoyed the show tonight. Buying and selling is stressful. I mean, there are definitely different avenues you can go in, and there's no guarantee. Every property is different, whether you're looking to buy it or sell it. So reach out to our team and we can talk to you a little bit about the pros and cons of selling currently, what your house is valued at, and all that stuff too. There's a link below to schedule a call. Now, if you're thinking about moving to the area, guys, reach out to our team as well. We're working with a lot of people relocating them to the Sacramento area. We absolutely love it. There's a Zoom link below. Set up a time where we can talk to you a little bit about what your needs are. Now, if you enjoyed this live broadcast, smash that like button. We would love to talk to you a little bit about Sacramento. I mean, we always are out and about. So if you're looking at places like El Dorado, Roseville, Rockland, Davis, we got you covered. Just reach out to us. And maybe you don't want to do a Zoom call, so just hit me at my phone number on the banner and we can talk a little Sacramento. Now, guys, one last thing before I go. There's a playlist right over there of other videos I've done about the Sacramento area. Knowledge is power. Those videos will help you kind of make a decision if Sacramento is that spot for you and you want to take it to the next stage. All right, guys, this is Mark. Have a good one. Hopefully you enjoyed the show. Remember, smash that like button, subscribe to the channel, and I'll see you next video.